Aliyat Sheni, we are going to read how Moshe Rabbeinu begins to give the berachot to the Shevatim. And he writes over here that the berachah of Levi is Barech Hashem Helo Ufo'al Yadav Tirseh. So Hashem should bless Helo. Helo means his assets, his property, his nechasim. But Rashi brings another explanation and he says Helo also comes from the word Hayil, which means an army. And he was hinting to the army that is going to come from Shevet Levi, which is the Hashmonaim. And Moshe Rabbeinu was giving a prayer. Hashem should bless the Hashmonaim, because we know that the Hashmonaim in the times of Hanukkah were a very small army. They didn't have so many soldiers, but yet they were victorious over the Greeks, which was a huge army. Rabbim beyad me'atim, like we say in the Amidah. So here is where the berachah came from. Barech Hashem Helo, his army should be blessed. Now, why is Moshe Rabbeinu exactly pointing towards Hanukkah at this time specifically? What's the deeper message? Did he just randomly decide to pray for them? He's giving a berachah at the end of his life. That means he wants to convey a message over here. And the explanation is Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us the power of every individual. Sometimes we think that we don't have that much power. We underestimate our potential. We underestimate our value. And Moshe Rabbeinu is saying over here, look, there's going to come a time where there's going to be people, the Jewish people are going to be assimilating. There's going to be very, very terrible gezerot, and people are going to fall. But there's going to be yahidim, there's going to be individuals that are going to get up and save the day. The power of an individual, you never know how far the power of an individual can go. There's a story of Noach Weinberg, met a boy who he knew left religion. And years later he met this boy and he saw that he became religious and he returned back to his heritage. So he asked him, he says, what inspired you? So he said, I took a tour in a university in Israel, and they took us to Europe. And we went down to the concentration camps. And when we went down to the concentration camps, we were walking down a road and we saw a wall that led to the gas chambers. And I looked very closely at that wall and I saw that there was indentations. And I realized that these indentations were actually fingernail marks. And I realized that it was a prisoner who was being pushed into the gas chambers who was trying to fight for his life. And I wondered to myself, I said, why would this guy fight for his life? At that point, there was no way out. He should have just resigned to his unfortunate fate. And then it struck me that, yes, these people were fighting for life because they were Jews, and as Jews, every minute of life means something. And that's what inspired me to come back. And Rav Noach Weinberg said, look at this, look at the power of one individual. This person thought that he was giving himself a few more minutes of life. But actually, 60 years later, he touched another person's soul and he changed his entire destiny. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us over here. Barech Hashem Helo. Sometimes you think you're me'atim, you think you're very little, but in truth, you have potential to do so many great things.